So thank you for being here. First, I want to ask you, what do you think about Diesel Colombia?
It has been a wonderful conference. I've really enjoyed it. I think the organizers have done a great job of bringing great speakers here, but also just the organization so that there's time to meet people, there's time to relax and socialize. So the speakers are great, but the opportunity to speak to people between the different presentations has really been wonderful, very valuable.
And what has been your favorite thing about the event?
Let's see. I did like how there are several plenary speakers, and they speak for sometimes just a short time, 30 minutes, but that gives us the opportunity to see several different speakers. And it seems that the theme is going very well. I've liked how there was talk about story and from the early presentations, and then other speakers connected that, so it feels like one long story, and that's really been very enjoyable. And again, it's easy then for us to talk to each other because we can follow that story. So that's good organization.
So please tell me a little more about your background and why you are here.
Sure. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and I grew up mostly in the United States. But I started my career in teaching quite a few years ago in Poland. And so I taught in Poland for a couple of years. And then I also spent many years in South Korea and in Japan. And I spent a lot of years in Asia. But recently I have moved to Saudi Arabia, and I'm teaching at King Fahd University in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. And it's a big change from Asia, but students are really students almost everywhere in the world, and so for me it's a great opportunity to see different students in different contexts, and it helps me to learn and to grow as a teacher. So I really enjoy it. I was here in Colombia 3 years ago working as an English specialist with the U.S. State Department. So now I'm coming back to Colombia for the second time, and I get to see Bogota. So it's been great.
Do you like Bogota? Do you like Colombia?
I do, yes. The first thing is, of course, the people. Everyone's very friendly, and it's great. I like the weather here in Bogota. It's really quite nice. A little chilly at night, actually. But my time in Cali was wonderful because of the salsa dancing. But yes.
And do you think that culture involves in teaching the language?
I do. I think that that there's language, and then a deeper understanding of language comes from culture. But even deeper than that, we are all human, and we're so similar. And I see that all the time. People love their families. They care about their neighborhood and their country. They want the best for their kids and things like that. So really very similar in many ways. But culture brings a nice flavor to it and makes it a bit more interesting. And we can learn how to accept each other's cultures more. So I think it has an important place in language learning so that we can say, okay, you do this a little differently than I do it, but we can accept that, we can learn from each other. So I think that learning about the culture is a lot of fun and important in the world.
And what message do you want to leave from your speech, from what you spoke?
Well, I hope that I spoke about classroom dynamics. I hope that we as teachers can promote an atmosphere, an environment of equality in the classroom. So some of us have better language skills than others, some are smarter in this subject or others, but I think the role of teachers, one part of us, is to make all of the students feel equal, that I will treat you the same as I treat anybody else. I will give you equal time to talk and equal time to do things. And I feel that when students feel that they are equal and that the teacher has equal belief in all of the students, I believe that each of you can succeed. I think that when you create that kind of atmosphere, then the learning just kind of happens, because the human brain likes to learn, but the human brain doesn't like to be embarrassed, to be told that you are less than someone else. So if you feel equal, I think the learning just kind of happens.
And finally, what challenges do you think that are the most important thing in teaching a second language?
Yes, well, there are a lot of challenges. Motivation is a very big one. We have to tell the students why this is important to them, how this is going to help their future. It cannot just be to get a good GPA, to get an A in the class, or to have some number, I'm a 5.0, something like this. That's not enough. We have to tell them how this is really going to help them in the future, in the long term. But at the same time, we also have to offer them something that is very valuable to them today. And that very often is better relationships, more pro-social relationships with the other students in the class. Because social pain can be really very demotivating. So if you can create that and say, well, you know, you're going to learn how to work together. You're going to learn who all of your classmates are. This is something that you'll get today from the class. So you'll get something for 10 years in the future, but you'll actually get something today. And we as teachers, as the adults, we really have to make that very clear to our students.
Okay, thank you very much, and
Thank
I
you so
hope
much.
you keep enjoying the event.
Muchas gracias.